Welcome to Comedy Bronze, everyone. I'm Sean.
I'm Chris, back for another throbbing week.
Yep. Really? Throbbing? That's your decision to go in to the...
Look,
You're going to go in with throbbing. All right, cool, throbbing.
I'm so tired, Sean. I'm so tired.
It's all that athleticism that you've been doing for the biddies.
Oh, I went up and down the stairs. You wouldn't believe it.
Oh, man. So we're back.
We got things to talk about.
We do indeed. We're back again, and this time we're going to finally get around to reading another email.
Yes, we have our second of two emails. Now, I don't want to say that we're the fastest people in the world at responding to emails, but this email did come on June 18th.
Well, I was going to say, June 18th. So we're only, 2 weeks? Three weeks.
Three-ish weeks late. I mean, and I certainly didn't, repeatedly say to the sender of the email that we were totally going to read it, and then forget to.
Yeah.
And then almost forget this time. And then only just before we began, remember to forward it to Sean so he could read it. So take it away, Sean.
All right. So this is... Should I say who it's from?
That will become clear by the end. Just read the email from top to bottom.
Okay. Greetings, plebs. I am
opening.
sending email to make you feel better, as well as some things to comment on. However, I have decided to use poor grammar to annoy Chris, so here we go. I ain't done listening to Prodcast yet, Rhett. This is going to be difficult. Still has 15 minutes left, but I has some comments.
It occurs to me that the only person really being punished with this grammar is you.
Yep.
I'm insulated from it all the way over here. That certainly wasn't intentional.
Jeskai Order is one of themes in Khans of Tarkir that focus on monks Mro or less. I've given up on poor grammar. It was too much work. Any future grammatical errors are totes on purpose, though. The next Magic block is Magic Origins, which is released on July 18th, followed by another set in November. FTL was kickstarted, and the top tier thingy was an ability.
Hang on. Step back a bit. I want to talk about the Magic.
Right.
So that was obviously sent in response to
me making
what we talked about. Yeah, you made a monk deck.
I made a monk theme deck. Yeah.
So Magic Origins is done yet another thing that I hate.
Okay.
Oh wait, hang on. I'm not going to be negative about it for reasons that will become apparent later in the email.
Okay.
But Magic Origins has legendary creatures that transform into planeswalkers.
Yeah, no, I know about this, yeah. You flip them over, and it's dumb.
Which is an exciting new mechanic that I'm certainly not furious about in the least. I applaud Wizards of the Coast taking the game in bold new directions.
Look, I only come into this game like every couple of years. I step back into it, I play it for a couple of months, and then I step away. But it seems every time I've come back to it, they have changed something which makes me enjoy the gameplay less. And
it seems
And I gotta be honest, I'm going to be playing while this is introduced, and I feel like it's going to make me not want to play again.
I feel real bad about that, Sean.
I mean, I enjoy spending money on small pieces of laminated cardboard as much as the next gentleman. But this seems like I just feel like they're in meetings and they're saying things like, shit, what have we got next? Oh, God, we've got to stop crushing these legendaries up and snorting them. Get something out of the cupboard. What have we got? We put planeswalkers on both sides. Oh, done.
Commence ejaculation.
We'll make a mint again.
Okay, yeah, so Magic's a great game and I support it.
Well, it is a great...
On with the email!
It is a great game. It's just that when stuff like this happens, it definitely makes people who aren't very good at the game get fucking confused by it, and they're not going to know what the fuck to do.
Oh, my specific objection is to the cards, which I won't raise this week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. FTL was kickstarted, and the top tier thingy was an ability to create your own race in the game, which the backer made into Crystal Dudes, parentheses, I have that ship, by the way, cunt to get, close parentheses.
He is not wrong. FTL is a game where it's a spaceship management game, basically, where you jump your little ship around and you tell your crew members where to stand so they can man either the gunnery station or the helm or the engine room or whatever.
Yeah.
It is really, really hard. And it's aggressively random number driven in terms of what you get. And the most suboptimal thing about it is that unlocking the different ship classes requires you to play in a way that appears wrong.
Right.
Because when you choose where to jump, like in between battles, you can jump to like neighboring stars or planets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be icons over them indicating stuff.
Right.
Like there'll be an exclamation mark indicating hostiles, or there'll be like a round thing indicating a nebula or some crap.
Right.
But all of the things that get you access to the new ships are at ones that have nothing on them.
Ah.
Yeah, which you don't know until someone tells you.
Yeah. Well, I in case you guys haven't guessed, I haven't played FTL.
FTL's pretty cool.
I looked at it, and it looks interesting, but I've got so much other shit that I need to get done before I'm going to get around to FTL.
Mm.
It's not.
I mean,
it's not one that's
it's
at the
fun.
top of my list.
It's fun and it's worth playing, but its biggest weakness is that your ultimate success is largely determined by factors beyond your control.
Yes.
Which is a bit of a butt. Anyway.
Right. Reading on.
Of course.
The tier below that got their names as default human crew names. You should totally talk more about that Daniel guy. He sounds like a top bloke.
That Daniel guy is a top bloke. He sends us rad emails that we don't read for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Also, do an entire podcast without Chris saying anything negative about anything. Well, look, Daniel...
Trying to, buddy. Trying to.
Yeah, look. Chris complains at a near Olympic level, so him saying anything... him being positive for an hour long might kill him.
Look, I did actually qualify for the Sydney Olympics. In the complaining team. As a complainer.
Oh, as a complainer. You would have been like 11.
I didn't go, obviously.
Because you were 11?
No, it was way too far away. I didn't want to fly all that distance.
Yeah, your arms would get tired.
Yeah, terrible.
I'm sorry.
Actually, although I just realized there's an old remember the Paul Hogan show? Was it even called the Paul Hogan show?
I think it was called the Paul Hogan show.
Yeah, and
I doubt very many people I doubt many people know the Paul Hogan show though.
Well, Paul Hogan is Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
Everyone knows who that is. But before he was Crocodile... Well, I think Crocodile Dundee probably started as a character on his...
Yeah, it was a
show.
bit on there.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was kind of like, Skit House or The Sketch Show.
Or any number of other shows.
Or Key and Peele?
I guess, yeah.
They do anything like that. But they had a bit about the Olympics, and the British lost in every category except phone booth vandalism and complaining.
Shall I keep going?
I see no reason to stop.
Okay.
I've come this far.
That would be funny. I'd like to be there when you record that too, because it would be quite humorous. Well, I'm sorry, Daniel. Due to technical difficulties, we still aren't ready to have someone on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not because we hate everyone, although that is a contributing factor.
Yep. It's also definitely not because I haven't bought a second microphone for us to do proper room miking yet.
No, 100%.
No, definitely. I also told a person about your podcast, so if your downloads/listens go up, that's all me and not all you improvising the podcast.
I assume you meant improving?
Improving, yes, beg your pardon. My eyes don't work.
Certainly nice of you to improvise a joke.
Well,
did our listenership stats go up after the Magic episode?
I don't know, did they?
I'm going to say no. They probably just continued their downward trend into oblivion.
Yeah. Oh, I've gotten us a couple of extra listeners. I got one of the Toms from work listening. He started listening on Friday night.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Which Tom?
The one who sits next to you, who isn't now a team leader.
The greatest Tom.
Yeah, the one who was in your training group.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to send multiple emails containing nothing, but that's too much work for someone as lazy as me. Keep up the good work, Colonel Whifflebottom von Vanderschnook. Have an emoji, cunts.
Thank you very much, Colonel Vanderschnook. Unfortunately, we can't read the emoji on the air
because
it is profane.
Yes, that's. I didn't know you could make colons do that.
Yeah. Not as profane as the word Sean just blurted out, but still fairly profane.
We're definitely going to need to put a trigger warning on this podcast, Chris.
Indeed. Well, we've now exhausted our stock of emails.
Well, is the mailbag empty? You've emptied the mailbag?
Oh, yes. The mailbag is spent, as they say.
Yeah, it's spent.
Someone's going to have to go back down the mail mines and chip another couple out of the wall.
Is that how it's done? Like, you mine mail?
Yes, absolutely.
You sure it's not like rendered down from like human fat or something like that?
Well, I've been paying someone to dig emails out of the earth, and if they're not doing that,
Yeah, okay.
then I want to know where those dollars are
Well,
going.
it's always possible that I've been lied to by that traveling salesman who sold me this third shoe.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be.
You know the archive button in Gmail?
Yeah.
Down in the mail mines, they call that the Widowmaker.
Well, now I feel terrible for using that. I'm sorry, Colonel. I just widowmakered your email.
Damn it.
I'm the worst.
Well, email concluded. Let's talk about something.
Yeah. Well, first off, we should say anyone else who wants to send us an email.
Oh, yes, should absolutely dispatch their missive
Yes.
to thirdplacejoke@gmail.com.
That's thirdplacejoke@gmail.com.
And we will totally sit on it for the better part of a month
Yep.
and then sarcastically read it.
Yep. Or, if Chris gave me the password to the email account, I could get it happening sooner.
If Chris remembered the password to the email account and didn't have to reset it every time he wanted to access it.
Oh my.
The inbox is like the 2 emails we've got and like 16 password reset messages.
Oh dear.
And nothing else.
What? That's terrible. You're terrible.
I am.
On a lighter note...
no attempt to defend himself.
No. On a lighter note, just before we started this podcast, I just got 100% on Batman Arkham Knight.
Wow, you actually played the game all the way through?
All the way through, I solved every single Riddler puzzle. I collected every trophy. I whacked boxes until bugs came out, which is something that you have to do on one of the airships.
Did you then take them to the Bug Princess?
No.
Did you get all 150 different ones in both genders?
No. No, that's...
Well, then you haven't got 100% then, have you?
Well, it says I got 100%, and I activated the Nightfall Protocol.
Ooh.
I think that was a really good ending to the trilogy of games, because we don't talk about Batman Origins.
I agree. I've definitely played all the games in that series, including the most recent one, and I have strong opinions about it.
You played, what was it, like 45 minutes of Arkham City?
Yes, this might have come up before, but I tried to play Arkham City while I was in the middle of playing Dark Souls 1.
Didn't work out well.
Well, their combat systems are completely incompatible with each other.
Yeah, your brain can't do that.
Yeah, well, trying to go from the ponderous, make every attack count Dark Souls to the just interrupt your own punches constantly style of Arkham City was too much of a mental gear change.
Yeah, they've still got that, hang on a second, I'm about to be attacked from halfway across the room, I'll just cannon myself back there with triangle. Gotta love that button. Still trying to figure out how Batman knows how to block a punch that was never going to land.
Well, you're not actually playing Batman. You're playing, the voice in Batman's head that can see behind him.
So Batman?
And tell him when stuff's going to happen.
So Batman.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like that bit out of Batman Beyond. I don't call myself Bruce Wayne when I talk to myself.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can see out of his own ass.
I assume Alfred's doing that for him.
I really liked Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and they've been building on that success. City was just as good, except it was much more open worldy. So it still had all those elements that you loved in Asylum. It still had the villains that you knew and loved. It had villains that you hadn't seen in the previous game. It had some returning, like the Riddler, who has now gotten away every time you've captured him and solved all his riddles, and then thought to himself, hang on, I'll come back and do the same thing again, and it will definitely work this time.
Well, no, it's this time Batman will love me. You need to understand the tension of their relationship.
Well, no, that's the Joker.
I think it's a little bit the Riddler, too.
Well, there's a bit where you're fighting him at the end, and he's just like, take this, father! I mean, Batman!
Oh, okay. That's spoiling it too much, because I do want to play it.
Yeah.
Although I have to play through City first.
You probably should, yeah. The plot lines do... It does actually follow on.
So there is a character called the Arkham Knight.
The Arkham Knight, yes.
Yeah, and I understand he is the most obvious person to be the Arkham Knight.
Yeah, look, and you can't really blame them because...
I can, and I do.
Well, I thought you were trying to be positive, Chris.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, let's do it.
Look,
Ugh.
I mean, to be completely fair, they obviously thought about introducing a new villain. and then they thought to themselves, hold on, if we introduce a new villain, all the neckbeards out there will get really mad. And they were right.
I don't think,
They definitely would have.
I think I think you're not 100% correct.
Really? Okay.
I don't want to say the word wrong because that would be negative.
Yes, it would.
The problem that the Origins, I think, suffered the most from this.
Yeah.
Again, which I haven't played, but I only know the broad strokes.
Mm.
The Joker is always, the Batman's ultimate foe.
Yes.
And the other B-listers are basically Riddler, Penguin, Freeze, Two-Face, Bane,
Scarecrow.
Right? Scarecrow. Oh yeah, Scarecrow is a big one in this latest one, right?
Yeah, it's the Arkham Knight and Scarecrow are working together to take Batman down.
Yeah. So they use Joker in the first one, then they use Joker in the second one.
Yes.
And once you've played the Joker card twice, you kind of have to branch out a bit. But because they put Riddler in the permanent role of collectible dude,
yes,
he couldn't be the major villain.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they'd already used the other ones various times. I mean, Bane was a sidekick in the first one, which means he can't be the ultimate villain in the rest.
Yeah.
Scarecrow was more of a free agent in the first one, which is why I think he's the obvious choice of that group.
He's also very different from Scarecrow of the first one as well. Well,
that's cool.
Something aside from the fact that it looks like he's burned off the lower half of his face with acid.
That's a bit of an extreme move.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like. And you can hear the goons, when you're tooling around Gotham, saying as much. Like, what the hell's up with Scarecrow's face? What did he do? Fall face first into a blender or something?
He used to be such a handsome boy.
Well, yeah, so Scarecrow in the third game is very... Because you don't see him in the second game, as far as I remember. You know that he's around, and you find his stuff, but you never see him. Yeah, he's a very different Scarecrow. In the first one, he's all sort of a little bit cartoonish and a little bit... Like, he's got that cool segment where you get injected with or you get dosed with fear toxin, and then you go on that trippy mind stuff.
Yeah, segments, I think you will find.
Yeah.
There are 3 of them.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, yeah. He's not like that this time round. He is cold and dispassionate, and he is completely out to fuck over both you and all of Gotham, and then when he's done with that, he's probably going to take over all of America.
Does he really want to take it over, or does he just want to poison everyone?
Well,
because this is sounding a lot like the plot of Batman Begins.
Well, no, he does. To be completely fair, it's a little bit Batman Beginsy. But in a good way.
Batman Beginsy, I think, gets some unfair criticism. I think Batman Begins is pretty damn solid.
Yeah, it's got plenty of Batmaning in it, and there's lots of Batmaning in this.
I certainly applaud Batmaning.
Yes. Lots of standing on top of buildings, brooding. But just so you know, Chris, Kevin Conroy is once again... It is Kevin Conroy that does the voice of the...
Yeah, Kevin Conroy's animated series and Arkham Asylum Batman.
Okay, so the most recognizable voice of Batman returns, and I won't give anything away, but Mark Hamill will be doing a voice in the game.
Ooh.
Yes.
We had a little bit of buzzing from you. Are you hearing that?
No, but I did just take a big sniff, so that might have been it.
Could have been.
Yes, it's all this coke on my desk. I need to.
Yeah,
I need to stop it.
Apparently the biggest problem with this one, according to other people, not me, haven't played it, don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
If you're typing Skype messages to me, Sean, I can't read them because the laptop is over there.
Okay, all right. Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just pulling back the curtain.
My God.
The
two biggest problems are...
What are you going to say?
What?
What were you going to say?
I was going to say the 2 biggest problems with this one are apparently Paul Dini didn't write it.
Yep.
Although he wrote the first 2 games in the series because he wanted too much money. And Warner Brothers, in a display typical of them, i.e. doing the wrong stupid thing, instead of just saying, yes, Mr. Dini, have all the money, please write our game for us.
Yep.
Said, no, we'll get someone else to do it. And as a result, the writing has suffered a little in comparison to the previous games.
As a game storyline, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
As a comic book storyline, it's okay. As a wrap up to this series, it's fine. So it's nothing amazing, it's nothing outstanding, but it gets the job done.
Kind of solid. I mean, the thing that has always made Arkham great is the atmosphere and the combat.
Yep, it's got that. It's got that in spades.
It's kind of amazing. They managed to create a system that actually reflects Batman's hyper-competent fighting style.
Yeah.
Which a player can sort of use in a mediocre fashion without being any good at the game.
Yes.
But which really, really rewards you for practice and getting good at it.
Oh, it definitely does. And
just super rare in AAA gaming.
And it rewards you even more in this by getting you... Like, the upgrade system has just gone crazy bananas in this one. Like, there are so many things that you can get just by being better at things than you were the last time you tried it.
Speaking of being better at things, how about that PC port?
Ah, God, I don't even want to talk about that. And apparently Warner Brothers knew about it well beforehand.
Yeah, years in advance is the figure. No, I have not played the PC version. I know someone who has.
So do I.
And he told me that you get such joyful things as single-digit frame rates whenever you're in the Batmobile.
Yep.
But he actually managed to beat the ridiculous thing.
Right.
Actually beat the main story campaign.
On a PC.
With lag and slowdown and glitches and crap vanishing all over the place.
Wow, that is a brave man.
And then he got to the end and discovered, oh, hang on, there's a second ending, there's a real ending.
Yeah, that's the one that I got today.
That you get if you get everything.
Yep.
And he was like, okay, I'm going to do that. Please load my save game.
Oh, no.
And Arkham City was like, save games? What are they?
Oh, no.
Here's an autosave from 9 hours ago.
Oh, no.
And so, in an admirable fit of refusing to let the game win,
right,
he went out and he rebeat all the sections that it unbeat for him.
Oh, God.
And he finally got through to the end.
Yeah.
And he got the actual real ending, the real true ending.
Oh, good on him.
And then he reloaded the game.
Oh, no.
And it gave him back the save that it lost.
Oh, God.
And erased all his new progress.
Oh, my God. So, what, at that point, did he just, demand a refund?
Well, at that point, he'd already won, so there's nothing more to do. The game was finished.
Yes. Well, speaking of the game being finished, here's a segue.
Oh, I don't think this is balancing correctly.
Greetings, tiny-minded mortals. I am... Wait, this might be hurting your puny brains. Hang on. There we go. Greetings, tiny-minded mortals. I am Upasina Greg of planet 43785.34 in the Horseball Nebula. I am here today to inform you that in approximately 80 zetaseconds, your world will be used as an everlasting gobstopper by my greatness. You are covered with delicious crenellations and landmasses that appear most appealing to mine eye. Know that your carbon life souls will only contribute to my great puffiness as I move through time and space, speculating on exactly why exactly old men have hair in their ears. End of message.
Welcome back to Comedy Bronze.
Yep. Boom, 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 shake the room.
All right, as is becoming... Oh, hang on, I'm going to unbutton my pants.
Ladies,
no. Oh, that's way better. Why didn't I do that sooner? So, back to tasteful podcast discussions.
Okay, cool.
Comic books. We never talk about them, do we?
No, and if we do, definitely not when other people can listen.
All right, so Invincible.
Yep. One of my favorite comics.
One of the... Invincible, rather arrogantly has on its cover the only superhero comic you need to read.
Well, let's be honest. It kind of is.
And it kind of is. It is heads and shoulders above many of its contemporaries.
Yep, and has been for a number of years.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how Robert Kirkman can juggle that and The Walking Dead, two of the greatest comics currently in print.
Yeah, isn't it great?
The suffering. What?
Wouldn't it be terrible if us superheroes didn't have the sun or space?
Yeah. So, Invincible, which is the story of Mark Grayson, no relation, who is the son of, Earth's Superman XP, pretty much.
Yep, called Omni-Man in this.
Omni-Man, who inherits his father's powers.
Yep.
In his later teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
And then shit gets real, and it's basically his life story from then on.
Yeah, shit
really,
keeps
really good
getting
comic.
real for, what are they up to now, 130 issues?
I think so. It's been running for a good long time.
I've taken a little bit of a break. I like to let it build up, and then I read
which
big,
naturally
huge
means,
bits of it.
Sean,
Yeah,
that it's time for a reboot.
What now?
Robert Kirkman announced at Image Comics ImageCon, or Image Expo, I think it might have been called,
Or whatever. No. Talk about the important thing.
that Invincible is being rebooted.
Did he explain why or why for or?
Nope. Well, he might have, but but it's not being rebooted in the standard way.
You mean given to a shittier writer and artist team?
No. The creative team are going to remain the same.
Okay, cool.
But what's going to happen is that Mark is going to wake up
Right.
the day before he got his powers,
Will he remember
with
everything that's
knowledge
happened?
of the entire run of the comic from that point through to the present.
Holy fucking shit, Kirkman! Where is your junk so I can put it in my face?
This is not the reaction I was expecting from you, Sean.
No, that's clever.
It actually genuinely is.
Yes, it's not a traditional reboot. That is them almost giving the finger to everyone who's doing a reboot. That's basically just saying to DC, who's just fumbling along doing reboot after reboot after reboot, basically tripping over their own vestigial testicles, trying to figure out what to do next with their shitloads of backstory and characters. It's just giving them a huge...
in a positive place. We've gone to a nasty one.
I've got to make up for what you're lacking this week.
Yeah.
It's just giving them a huge finger.
I think it's okay, sure. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think it's even necessarily directed at them. I mean, maybe it's just a genius plot twist.
It could be, yeah.
Which is why it was bewildering to me that they announced it. Why would you tell people ahead of time? This would have just been so rad if they'd just done it.
That's a good question. Possibly to stop lots and lots of people complaining ahead of time. But also possibly to build excitement for it, because it is a different way of rebooting a series.
I guess maybe the series of sales are flagging. I couldn't really imagine that happening, but they could be.
Look, if they aren't doing that well on individual issues, they're still doing gangbusters on fucking trades.
The other genius part about it is just thinking now. I mean, I won't list them because that would be spoilers for people who haven't read Invincible.
Can we give can we say, if you don't want to hear spoilers, jump ahead to this bit? Okay,
I'll just say in short,
okay.
Mark, Invincible is far from perfect.
Oh, God, yeah.
And there are a lot of key bad choices that he made in the course of the comic.
And ones that he has repeatedly said, I really wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see if he gets the chance to remedy all of those.
My mind is reeling with everything he could do, or try and stop, or try and start.
Now, obviously, I seriously doubt that the post-reboot Invincible is going to proceed at the same pace as the original series did. Otherwise, it would be another 10 years until we got back to where we are now.
But to counter that, his powers have been building since that point, because he didn't start off being super strong and super fast and super indestructible. He became that way.
Yeah, the source of his powers is very similar to the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
But the more often they get the bejesus beaten out of them, the tougher they get.
Speaking of which, like a month before the new series starts.
Oh, DBZ?
Yeah, or less than a month. End of this month it starts. It's called DBZ Super.
Ooh.
Yeah. Starts 6 months after Majin Buu.
My balls are turgid.
Well, I'm going to watch the shit out of that. But back to Invincible.
Yeah, I don't see what the curve of his powers has to do with anything. I mean, they will not tell the story at the same pace they've been telling it up until now. They'll probably tell it a lot faster.
Yeah, they'll basically, in between issues, there'll be huge jumps of time, probably.
Yeah, probably within issues, it'll be just like 6 months.
Yep,
skip forward.
Yeah. Does that mean it's going to change a lot of the Image universe? Because I know that Invincible has a lot of crossovers. He's had crossovers with other Image characters.
Well, things like Savage Dragon and Capes Incorporated, and I mean the Astounding Wolfman is.
Well, the Astounding
Wolfman's finished now, anyway.
Yeah, he had to cut that because he was doing like 6 comics at the same time.
I
can't do that.
I think this will just be like a branch timeline, and probably will not affect. Man, semi-related. I read a great thing that someone wrote once.
Okay, just the once.
Yeah, this is the vaguest possible way I could describe this. Don't worry, I'll find it. I will put it in the show notes and the blog post that I write for this episode.
Which you can go and read at
nooniverse.wordpress.com.
Yep. And what's the thing?
There's also a link to it in the description of every episode of this podcast. So
oh, good. But what's
easy
the
to find. Where this person, whose name I can't remember, proposed the rules for a superhero shared universe.
Right.
And basically, you're allowed to borrow characters from wherever.
Right.
So Batman can always appear in a Superman comic, and Superman can always appear in a Batman comic.
Right.
But stuff that happens in a Batman comic is only allowed to affect Batman's version of the shared universe.
Really?
So, for example, if Aquaman comes over to Batman's comic and they fight a dude and Aquaman gets a scar on his face, that scar will only exist when he appears in Batman comics. Huh. If he then shows up in a Green Lantern comic 2 years later,
he's not going to have a scar.
Yeah. So they all have their own versions of the universe.
Wow.
That they can appear in each other, which eliminates a lot of the problems that you run into with big event comics where the need to synchronize characters' schedules means that a bunch of books will suck for 6 months.
Yeah.
While they're all off doing stuff. So you could have something like Civil War.
Ah, right.
Without the need to disrupt every series that is participating in it.
Right.
Speaking of Civil War, I've started reading Civil War again.
Yeah, which we read a couple of years after it actually happened.
Yeah, I think I read it in about 2008 or 9.
Yeah, it was around then. It was while I was still working at Borders that happened.
So opinions are interesting things.
Yes, they are. They do change.
Because
is that what we're saying?
No, I'm going to say they tend to entrench themselves.
Right.
They tend to grow. Like, you start off sort of not liking something, and then 5 years later you will declare that you hate it and have always hated it.
Right.
So I don't like Civil War very much. Civil War, for those of you not in the know, was a great big crossover event that Marvel did in 2006.
People would argue that it was probably, up until that point, it was the biggest one that had ever happened.
Yeah, it was kind of significant. It ended, spoilers, though not really, with the death of Captain America.
Yep.
Iron Man and Captain America ended up on two different sides of a conflict.
And the film for this is coming out next year, I think.
Yes, and the next Cap film or the next Avengers film?
Next Cap film.
The next Captain America film is going to be based around the Civil War.
Yep. Which means that Spider-Man will be appearing.
Yeah, which is neat. For
the
MCU.
Yes.
The basic impetus of Civil War was that the government introduced a thing called the Superhero Registration Act, which required all masked vigilantes to reveal their identities to the US government.
Yes.
And receive training or organization and, a bunch of stuff that is mostly good and useful.
Yeah.
But at the cost of giving up their identities.
Exactly.
And there was a big fight.
Yeah.
So in my ongoing quest, my new quest...
Oh, just before you go on, Iron Man was on the side of the government and Cap was on the side of the not government.
Yeah.
In
Iron Man
a big
sided
turnaround.
with registration and Cap was the leader of the rebels.
Yeah.
As part of my new quest to find the good in superhero comics and to stop just endlessly bitching about DC's New 52, I mean, I'll continue to do that, but as a side project, I'm looking for other things instead.
Something that might distract you from the shittiness of the DC 52.
Indeed. Which I expose myself to willingly and could just leave alone, but I won't. It's too important, sure.
Like, if there was, just to give you an example, if there was some cancer just lying on the street, Chris would have gone up to it like some sort of investigative puppy, and just sort of buried his face in it and sort of rolled around in it and then brought it inside the house. And you'd have to whack him on the nose.
Home. You have to show everyone the cancer.
Yeah.
Guys, look what I rolled in.
Yeah. Disgusting.
It's metastasizing all over the carpet. So I started reading Civil War again.
Yeah, okay.
Civil War,
Did you go are you buying this? Or are you borrowing it from friends?
I'm not a criminal, but a guy I know has all of the Civil War comics on a hard drive that may or may not exist.
Right.
And they may or may not have been scanned from the single issues as they were released.
Ah.
I'm not going to buy I may buy the Civil War trades.
Right. Now,
but I'm unwilling to risk buying them.
Before you might actually kind of enjoy it?
No, it's not even about enjoying it. It's that superhero comic book trades are not designed correctly most of the time.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I will give you. I mean, for example, Civil War is technically a 7-issue miniseries.
Yep.
But the list of comics that are part of Civil War is about 60 things long.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man tied into it, Iron Man and Avengers tied into it.
Almost every single Marvel title.
Yeah, most of the Marvel titles tied into it. There was another side series about some reporters who were reporting on the Civil War.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of ancillary material.
Yeah.
Which is part of Civil War, but which is not the core story.
I was given to understand that apparently they had printed trades with it all properly in order, of not just the miniseries but also the ancillary stuff. Everything in order, properly displayed and categorized and everything.
If that is so, then I'll probably end up buying them because the scans that I'm not reading from the hard drive I don't have are not of astoundingly high quality.
So this unreading you're doing.
So Civil War starts off on an immediate high note.
Yes.
Because the first part of Civil War is the Illuminati Road to Civil War issue 1 or something. Yep. And it's the entire issue is basically just a retcon, but it's a retcon of the best kind.
Okay.
Rather than just saying Jean Grey didn't die.
Right.
It instead posits this organization, which is Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Tony Stark.
Yep.
Professor Xavier.
Yep.
Black Bolt.
Yep.
Namor the Submariner.
Yep.
Stephen Strange.
Yep.
And T'Challa, the Black Panther, is invited to join, but I think he declines.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
And they're a group, I don't know whether they call themselves the Illuminati.
Other people refer to them as such.
But they basically just... The first pages are they meet in the wake of the Skrull-Kree War, which took place on Earth at some point in Marvel history. And Tony Stark basically lays out this plan, which is that this could have been prevented.
Yep.
Because all of us had some part of the plot, and if we'd communicated and traded information and put it all together in time, we could have avoided it. So let's create a pact where we will just sort of do this. We'll swap information, we'll share information, and when world-shattering things happen, we will be able to act because we'll be better informed.
Yes.
He also proposes becoming the public face of superheroes.
Yep.
In general.
Which Tony Stark would definitely be all right with.
Yeah, and setting themselves up as sort of a meta-Avengers.
Yep.
Sort of a licensing board for superheroes, if you will.
The publicity Avengers.
Yeah, well, that too. And the others turn him down, and Black Panther walks away. He flat out says, guys, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Something bad is going to happen. You're going to make a wrong decision.
Something bad does happen later on. It's not part of the Civil War thing. This bunch of people are the ones who decide to send to capture Hulk and send him into space.
That is part of the Civil War.
Is it part of the Civil War? I thought it came after.
That's in Civil War. That's the one of the inciting incidents of the Civil War.
Oh man, I've got
so they
totally confused then.
And so they meet, and they Tony wants to make it an open thing, and the rest of them say no, that doesn't seem like a great idea. It's like, okay, we will just be a secret organization. We will just swap information, and when Earth is threatened, we will come together and we will work out how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so then it skips forward to another Earth-shattering event, and Xavier's gone.
Right.
He's not there anymore because of the House of M thing that happened.
Yep.
Where Scarlet Witch depowered most of the mutants.
Yep.
And the issue is just that. Each time they come back, there are fewer of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they disagree more, and they disagree more. And the final one is where Tony shows up as Iron Man, and he's got the first draft of the Superhero Registration Act.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that...
sparks the war.
Yeah, that is going to be the driving force behind the Civil War. And he tells them what it is, and he says, we need to come out in favor of this immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to manage this, because otherwise something really bad is going to happen. And it's going to be rammed down the throats of everyone.
Yep.
And the government is going to have to get super heavy-handed, and we don't want that.
Yeah, so if we don't get involved now, it's going to be worse later on.
Yeah. And Richards agrees with him, Mr. Fantastic.
Up to a point, I believe.
Everyone else says, nah, that's crap.
Yeah.
And they part ways. And so, within one issue, they have created this body and then magnificently demonstrated how it was incapable of achieving the goals it was designed to do. just as they were fragmented at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I really like that bit at the start. And then there's a fantastic Force story after that about Thor's hammer falling
that's
to
right.
Earth.
Yeah.
This is, I think Thor is temporarily dead.
Yeah.
And this issue is great because it has Doctor Doom in it.
Yep. Can't go wrong with a bit of Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom should be in everything. I can't believe Marvel has made poor decisions. Doctor Doom should have been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe from the beginning. Because he is the most entertaining guy to watch do things.
Yeah, he's just a dude trying to run his country.
No, not at all. He's a giant, egomaniacal, armored lunatic in a green robe who yells about how great he is, even as he is being pummeled and incinerating buildings.
Well, there's that too.
Here's the Brian Blessed of supervillains. I love him.
I'm Brian Blessed.
Yeah. So I'm a little way into Civil War. There's been a couple of boring issues in there so far, but it's kind of holding up. It's holding up so far. One interesting thing is who is to blame for the deaths of all those people in Stamford?
What, recently or?
No. Stamford, the fictional town in the Marvel Universe that gets blown up.
Oh,
by
what is his name?
Speedball, I think, is the character you're thinking of.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so everyone blames Speedball for blowing up. Oh yeah, sorry. The actual inciting incident for the Registration Act getting pushed through Congress is that a bunch of heroes filming a reality TV show punch a villain named Nitro too close to a school, and he explodes and incinerates a bunch of kids.
Yep, and Wolverine's there, I think.
Wolverine shows up to help clean up the mess afterwards.
Yeah, he gets incinerated. I can't remember.
Yeah,
it's been years.
Which is exactly what Stark predicted.
Yeah.
The disaster happened. Anyway, the person who actually punched Nitro close to the school was not Speedball, even though he is the whipping boy for the disaster afterwards.
Yeah.
It was actually a character called Namorita, who was Namor's cousin.
That's right.
But she was killed in the blast, so she can't be blamed.
Well, yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. So, but event comics are weird because even though mostly I'm enjoying it so far, I can see the cracks where these things fail.
Yeah.
Which is the task of coordinating so many writers and so many artists of, let's be frank, varied skill.
And enthusiasm, probably.
Yeah, and probably enthusiasm. And also, understanding of what the story is about.
Yeah.
Tends to result in a total object that is somewhat less than the sum of its parts.
I've always felt like they start off with a great idea, and probably in a writing room where all these guys are sitting around patting each other on the back for coming up with these ideas. It starts out great, and then they sort of just pile up more and more stuff, and then it collapses under its own weight. Yeah,
that's kind of it. And every sub issue of Civil War, most of them are dealing with stuff of secondary characters.
Yeah,
who are just kind of looking in on the thing.
Yeah,
and unrelated to it, and so their stuff doesn't contribute a whole lot. Anyway. It's fine. I will report more on Civil War as I get through it.
Yeah, well, I've been meaning to go back for a couple of years now too. It's been about 6 or 7 years since I read it, so I might wait until you finish and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to reread it.
Well, Marvel is about to reboot all its shit, isn't it?
What, again?
No, Marvel doesn't reboot. Marvel has never rebooted before.
Oh, okay.
They have one long unbroken line of continuity back to whenever.
Okay.
But Marvel is apparently doing a reboot now.
Well, that'll be interesting.
There will exist for the first time ever, like a frozen complete version of Marvel's comic continuity up to date X, whenever they reboot it.
Wow.
I think at that point it might be worth going back and revisiting the whole thing just to see.
Yeah, well, that might be an idea. Before we wrap up this segment, did you have an idea about when the Invincible comics are getting their reboot? Or have they just said that it's happening?
It's probably in the news article that Carl showed me, but no, I can't remember what the date is.
I assume if they're saying it now, it's probably going to be before the end of the year.
Yeah, well, you're not current with Invincible, are you?
No, it's like I was saying earlier, I like to let it build up for about a year or so, and then I read them all in one go.
Okay.
So
a lot has happened in the last year of Invincible.
Yeah. No, I know there's a couple of things that have happened. I know about them, but I don't know the fine details. which is what I do enjoy about these big, devouring mouthfuls I take of Invincible.
And speaking of giant mouthfuls, here's something. Hi, my name's Gerald, and I'm an alcoholic. It's been 6 weeks, 4 days, and 9 hours since my last drink. I wasn't an early drinker, like many of you. In fact, I had my first drink 2 years ago, after the thing I saw, and it became easier to drink than to think about it. I was out walking, and I remember I'd bought a bagel for lunch, because I was hungry that day, and there were bagels. And I was coming up to an intersection, and I saw a man cross against the light, and I wanted to shout out to him, "Why? Why are you crossing? It's red. You can't do that." But I didn't, and he crossed anyway, and the station wagon hit him, and he didn't die, not like you'd think he would. He bloomed, is the only way I can think to tell you. He opened, and he extended, and I saw what was inside. And strips of flesh and ribbons of bone splayed across the road into a vast web. And at the center of it, I saw the thing inside the man. And it saw me. And ever since then, I've found it easier just to drink.
Welcome back. We're back for segment 3 of this week's Comedy Bronze.
Indeed.
And I brought Chris with me.
Yeah, I didn't want to come.
He fought me. He fought me.
The strain of being
Tooth and
broadly
nail.
positive for 2 segments was almost too much to bear.
Yeah, he had to go get himself a lap dance and a massage.
Sean, don't sugarcoat it. I ran out to the street and I yelled at a child.
Yeah, it was horrible. That child's going to have a lot of emotional problems.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Anyway, speaking about emotional problems, you have had, and I have had, a rocky relationship with Telltale over the last almost 10 years.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something different.
Yeah.
Have we?
Well, initially it was rocky.
Sure.
My first introduction to Telltale was when they were chosen to make the episodic Monkey Island games, because I've got a huge heart-on for Monkey Island.
I own all the Telltale games, but the only ones I've really played are the Homestar Runner ones.
Yep.
And those, I think, do a fairly good job of capturing the humor of Homestar Runner.
Didn't you play their Sam and Max ones as well?
I only played the first one.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I got all the way through it.
Right. Is that because you didn't feel it was captured very well, or because it was just boring?
No, honestly, it's because they're mouse-intensive adventure games and my arm's fucked.
Oh, right, okay.
I can't do mousing very well.
So, over the last couple of years especially, they've definitely made a comeback, in my opinion, with how well crafted their episodic way of producing
they've
games.
been making critically acclaimed adventure games, a phrase that no one ever expected to hear again.
Since about 1994.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did an episodic version of
The Walking Dead,
which they've now done 2 seasons of, and they are both very good.
They did an episodic version of Fables, which has been adapted back into a comic book.
Yep. Well, the comic book only just started, didn't it?
No, I've been accidentally buying it because Fables is part of my standing comic order.
Right.
And this has Fables written on it, so they just give it to me.
Yeah, I'm way behind in Fables. And that was fantastic. And they're currently doing Game of Thrones, although I think the final episode is coming out soon. And that's not... It's not happening at the same... Well, it's weird. It's happening in the same universe as the TV show, but some of the characters aren't in the TV show. They've been made up just for the game, or they've only been referred to in the books. It doesn't matter. It's good. It's very good.
It's non-canon, but it's good.
Yeah, it's non-canon, but it's good. They've announced recently, and they brought out the trailer for it a couple of days ago, that they are making a Minecraft episodic series.
Oh yeah, I remember that announcement. That was a while ago.
Yeah, so they announced it a little while ago, and it's all been, since that announcement, nothing much has really happened, other than we're making a Minecraft Telltale episode.
It's the most absurd thing in the world on the face of it. All right, company that specializes in making focused, story-based, adventure puzzle games.
Yeah.
We're going to give you, extremely railroady adventure games.
Yeah.
We're going to take the game with the least story and the most freedom that has ever existed. And we want you to make one of those out of that.
Yep. And from what I can see, it looks like they've done it quite well. Admittedly, it's only a trailer, and it only
Do
goes...
you play as a creeper? That's all I want to know.
No, you don't.
Damn.
They will not be getting your money. Am I to take it?
Well, I mean, if they just called it like Creeper Tale, and you have two options. They are walk and explode.
Right. What about hiss?
And the story... well, the hissing is mandatory. It's a prelude to explosion.
Okay.
And so you just walk around until you find something suitably beautiful and you explode, then it tells you the story of your explosion.
Oh, right, okay. Over the course of 5 months.
Yeah, it sounds like a Peter Molyneux game now that I think about it.
Yeah, him and his balls.
I'm just here to talk to you all about my balls.
My balls.
And, my balls.
We've really turned up the intensity of my balls.
What is that even from?
I can't even remember.
I think it might be Giant Bomb again.
It might be, yeah.
We're serial plagiarists. But what is the game actually about?
So it's called Minecraft: A Telltale Game Series Story Mode.
Yep.
It's called Story Mode, and the main character, and I was quite excited when I heard this, the main character is being voiced by none other than Master Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a lost and confused Patton Oswalt in a voxel-based world.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like looking at the graphics and the little bit that you see in this 1.5-minute trailer, it looks like it's going to be the most open world Telltale game, which admittedly isn't saying much.
It's not saying much.
It's not saying much, but for a Telltale game, it's astounding.
Hey, at least they've picked something firmly within their graphics budget for once.
Hey.
Swish.
Have you even seen what the Game of Thrones one looks like? It's really good.
Yeah, they're getting like HBO money.
Yeah, they were getting HBO money, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mojang licensed this, and Mojang have shitloads of money.
It's pronounced Mojang. Get it together.
Is it?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Sorry.
That's fine, Sean.
Don't do it again.
Notch isn't listening. No one cares.
Oh, okay. Well, how do you know? He could be. Thank you, Mr.
I
Notch.
tweet him every day, and he never tweets back.
Oh, I get people to tweet me back. Specifically, it's really just one person.
Is it Tradmore?
No, it's not Tradmore. I've only one. Oh no,
I've got the other guy, the writer of Let the Stroke.
The other guy, Justin Jordan. Tradmore has responded to me before. Tradmore and Justin Jordan, I love you both. I would definitely let you Eiffel Tower me.
All right. So, what does the trailer actually show?
No homo. The trailer just it's not a lot. You see, it's a very cinematic trailer. It's So it's them showing a bunch of different things, like the main character is being followed around by a pig all the time. He is obviously
reaching out into the wide cast of Minecraft characters.
Yeah.
Well, you've got tree and you've got pig.
Yeah. It's obvious that he's supposed to be a player who's this is their first time in Minecraft. So he's arrived there, he's confused by things. He is told that he is needed to help with some things. People, there's one line where it's just like, oh, you're going to give me a sword? It's like, better yet, you can make your own. And he makes a stone sword, holds it aloft. Very nice. And then, there's lots of different shots of action happening, and there's not really a lot given away about why the action is happening, which is good, because it's a good trailer. Movie studios, get your shit together.
Oh yes, learn from Telltale and their brick adventure game.
Sure, why not? If they're doing it better, and they're doing it for less money, they can definitely learn a thing or two. But basically, it just shows you different portions of the game world. It shows you different characters. You see Slender Man. You see a bunch of other things as well. And
You see Slender Man.
sorry, not Slender Man. What are those things
The
called?
Endermen.
Endermen. That's right.
Yeah.
No, Slender Man's definitely there. He leaps out of the screen at one point in episode 3 and just stands.
No. Slender Man bobs awkwardly in a lake because his AI has no idea how to move through water, just like everything else in Minecraft.
And at the final bit is you ignite. Well, the final part of the trailer is him igniting a portal into the Nether. And they go in, and it's just them standing around as the camera zooms further out and dramatic music plays. I'll show you the trailer at the end of this.
Yeah, sure.
Once again, it looks like Telltale going, hey, let's apply our thinking heads to this and come up with something that players of both Minecraft and adventure games can get behind.
Well, when you think about it, it makes sense. The only thing that prevents Minecraft from having a story is that no character in it has any personality or motivation.
Well, yeah.
Or desires. So as soon as you just say something like, the person playing Minecraft is confused and doesn't know what they're doing, and the pig is giving advice, you've created a story.
Oh, man, I would play the shit out of a game where... oh, wait, I have played that game. It's called Star Fox. It's not a pig, though.
No, there's no pig that gives you advice in Star Fox. Beyond Good and Evil has a pig that gives you advice.
There's Pigsy and in that one that is obviously a rip-off of Monkey.
Oh, Enslaved.
Enslaved, yes. That's the one.
I never played this game, and you're the one who likes it, but you can never remember what it's called.
I can never remember what it's called. That's because I'm a terrible person and I have a wrong brain. It's good, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a fair bit of Minecraft.
Yes, I did too back in the day.
I think I can't be... Well, I know I can't be bothered playing Minecraft anymore. I mean, shoulder and wrist issues aside.
You're falling apart.
I'm falling apart.
Yeah.
No, Minecraft's pretty cool.
It's very cool. It's a very cool idea. And I'm interested to see because they just announced that Minecraft will have a beta for Windows 10 that will be going live the same day as Windows 10's release, which is at the end of this month. It's just incredible. Like, when you told me about...
Minecraft is a fucking Java application.
Yeah. Was it still a Java application?
It's still a Java application.
I don't know. I haven't played it in...
Unless they've rewritten it in a sane programming language.
I literally haven't played it in years. But I remember when you
The only barrier to it being on Windows 10 is that Oracle needs to put out a JRE for it.
No, I just remember when you first introduced me to Minecraft back in 2009. When you were just like, hey, pay $15 and come play this interesting game with me.
Yeah, that was back when the multiplayer didn't work at all.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And you were like, we can totally play it together. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
No, except you really couldn't.
Yeah, and then I was like, here's for $15. All right, cool. What? So can we play together, Chris? Oh, no, you definitely need to go off and do your own thing. But we'll eventually be able to play together.
Oh, yeah, we rented a server for a little while.
Yeah, it was about, what was it, 3 months there?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
I played on a persistent server with some other people, and then I got banned because I burnt everything.
Yeah. I tried to make a sky castle.
What?
I tried to make a sky castle once.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's where we were very ill-advised. Oh, no, I remember original Sky Castle.
Yeah.
I remember we tried to build a sky farm on a very inadvisable PvP server that we were playing on for some stupid reason.
Oh, no, that's a bad idea.
Minecraft PvP is so awful.
Minecraft
combat in general is so awful. Practically nothing in Minecraft works. It's astounding that it's as popular as it is.
And yet it's hugely popular, and it's got so many different versions and rip-offs. Like, everybody's kid plays Minecraft now.
Pretty much.
Which is weird. I mean, it's cool, but it's weird. Like, this game that we were playing only, not even 6 years ago. This game we were playing, which was being written by one dude and a couple of his friends in their spare time. And he was like, hey, give me $15 and I might be able to make it a bit better.
That's not a reasonable characterization of Minecraft's development.
Right.
Even at the point when we were playing it, Mojang was an established company with several employees, and it was definitely not just full-time occupation.
Right. He was still living paycheck to paycheck at that point, though, wasn't he?
I have no idea what the state of his finances were.
Okay. Well,
So I don't know why you would think I would.
I don't know. You know everything.
I do.
You have approximate knowledge of all things.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Frank the Human
Minecraft
Boy.
is one of those games that, because it has so little narrative content, there's no barrier other than, having functioning limbs to playing the thing.
Yeah.
And it's a nearly limitless tool for expression and creativity. So, of course, it appeals to children of all ages.
It's video game Lego.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way before.
Are you mocking me?
Oh, definitely.
Son of a bitch.
100% sure. Damn it, that was negative. Fuck.
Yes, I win.
Oh, I got so far through
I
this thing.
win.
Oh, I probably said something mean at some point.
Oh, definitely. You definitely said something mean. My feelings were hurt.
What other news items have you got for us, Sean?
In slightly interesting news, because we've talked about Kickstarter a couple of times now, this one made me a little bit grumpy. So you're allowed to be a little bit grumpy about this. Daniel,
Oh, I'm off the wagon. I don't fucking care anymore.
Okay, forgive me. So we were actually talking last night with a friend of ours about Mighty Number 9. And the guy who's working on that, what's his name? Inafune?
Oh, yes. Concept put up 2 new Kickstarters.
Yep, they put those up yesterday.
Yeah, one for a game, one for an animation.
It's both for the same thing, though. One's for the game, and one's for the animation for the game.
Isn't it for a separate animation thing based on the same IP? Like
No, the game...
like Street Fighter the series?
No, the game and the show are going to run at the same time, apparently.
Yes, what I'm saying is, when you say the animation, you do not mean the animation frames for the characters.
No, I mean the
game.
anime. The anime.
Right.
It's an anime. So there's a Kickstarter...
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, there's a Kickstarter for the game and a Kickstarter for the anime. And I got a little bit grumpy about that, because I thought...
Why did you get a little bit grumpy?
Because I thought to myself, fucking Inafune, the game you promised me for the last time you did a Kickstarter isn't even out yet.
Yeah, no, but hang on. Inafune isn't the person doing that Kickstarter. He doesn't even have his name on it.
For what? For the Red Ash, the one that's just come out?
Yeah, Red Ash.
No, it does.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's him.
Okay. Well, whatever. He's not a game developer.
Inafune.
He's a designer / publicity guy. So, I mean, his actual work on Mighty Number 9 was mainly in character designs and stuff. Like, the actual game is being made on a contract basis by Concept Japan.
Yes.
So there's no reason that they can't work on 2 things at once. This is just like when Double Fine, whilst having failed to put out Broken Age, threw up a Kickstarter for Massive Chalice.
Yeah, and
it's exactly the same thing.
And at that time, I was a little bit grumpy, because I was thinking, why don't you just finish the thing I want, and then do this?
Well, and the answer is the same to this is the same as it was to that, which is that there are separate teams working on these projects.
I don't believe you.
Well, dev teams rarely work on 2 projects simultaneously. That's just poor management.
Yeah. I just thought it was... I thought it was odd that this guy, he hasn't even seen his last Kickstarter project being released yet.
Yeah, I mean...
It feels like he's just in it to win it via Kickstarter money.
I can see how you would get to that conclusion, yes.
And you're going to say that it's the wrong conclusion?
No, I don't really know one way or the other.
Well,
it's just the way it's the way it makes me feel. Scamming us all on Kickstarter through serial funding drives.
It's the way it makes me feel. Like, what is his advantage to doing this? How does this benefit him?
The advantage is that if you have 2 things going at once, you get more money if they both succeed, or you have insurance if one of them fails and the other doesn't.
Well, the other one's almost done, so wouldn't you have wanted to?
Well, yeah. So you start up on the new one before the old one finishes. That's just keeping yourself occupied.
Oh, okay. So
his actual job, his actual part of making the game, is not as time consuming or as labor intensive as anyone else's. And at this point in Mighty Number 9's development, he probably has nothing to do anymore. Like he was the big picture guy in the character designs, basically.
Well, yeah.
But once that was all squared away, he had very little involvement in the project other than approving crap at each step.
Right.
So I mean, whatever, go do another thing. That's fine.
Fair enough. Speaking of going and doing another thing.
Yeah.
The guys over at Lab Zero Games.
Ah, yes, the Skullgirls people.
Yes, they've just announced they're doing another game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it a fighting game?
No, it is not a fighting game.
Ooh, what is it?
It is called Indivisible, and it's a game, quote-unquote, inspired by classics like Valkyrie Profile and Super Metroid.
Okay.
Yep, and they've got the guy who did the music for Secret of Mana, Hiroki Kikuta, Hiroki Kikuta. I don't know why I couldn't get that out.
The entire nation of Japan is just weeping angrily now.
They're not allowed to weep. They're just supposed to be smiling and nodding. And we've become more racist as we've gone along, haven't we, Chris?
Well, I wouldn't say we. On this occasion, I would say
if
you.
I'm going down, you're coming down with me.
No. You get on that racism.
Yeah,
you dive on it, so when it explodes, it doesn't kill the rest of us.
I'll show you the trailer for it at the end of this as well. But it is a side-scrolling action RPG with, at the moment, beautiful art. They haven't really said anything other than it's coming. It's once again a female protagonist, so they are very much big on their female protagonists.
They pick up their cheesecake artwork, I think you mean.
Well, this isn't really cheesecakey in this. It's got she's got sort of a
I don't have any problem with Lab Zero's art direction.
Oh, okay. But she's got sort of the main character, she's got sort of a Princess Mononoke style dress. So it's very like it's brief but practical.
Do you know anything about the plot or mechanics?
Nope. No, they're very light on.
They're making a game. We're not going to say Metroidvania.
Yep.
Because Vania Man is off doing his own thing.
Yes, he is. But
and they don't make Metroid games anymore, apparently.
Yeah, but they're it's what I've seen. It looks very good. It looks very interesting. It looks like it's going to be once again a really well polished game from these guys.
Yep, you can certainly conclude that from the first look trailer.
Oh, fuck you. Well, the only thing I had to go on with Skullgirls was a first look trailer.
True, and you could easily have concluded that was going to be a mess.
But I didn't because you were so excited, so I just went along with it.
Yeah, well, Skullgirls...
it's a very different type of game to this one.
It's a very different type of game, and my belief that it would be good was based largely on the involvement of Mr. Mike Z.
Yes.
Who I was fairly certain would do a good job, and lo and behold, he did.
He did indeed. And
plus everyone else, of course.
Unlike him, we haven't done a good job, but that's it for the week. That's it for this week's Comedy Bronze.
All right, well, I guess our game studio now closes down because we haven't finished the game.
Yeah, when can I pick up my check?
Yeah, this is the games industry, so click.
Goodbye, Rainer!
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Comedy Bronze. But if you were offended by Sean's flagrant racism, or if you just have a question you want to ask us, why don't you send an email to thirdplacejoke@gmail.com. That's kind of a crap way to end. Stay frasty.